Searching for that one special woman to complete your life?
What does a 40-year-old have in common with a 25-year-old? The guy is the obvious winner in that relationship. Yeah, the age differential is a very interesting thing, Jeremy. I've been at this now for almost 30 years. I've seen 5-year differentials in relationships that go down in flames very quickly, and I've seen 40-plus year age differentials that are still going strong, okay? So it really, really depends on the two people involved. Yes, statistically, you have more risk without larger age differential, okay? But that's statistical. When you get into, couple by couple, person by person, it really depends on those two individuals. The divorce rate in the United States is about 50%, or so. Some say it's even higher than that. And we have one of the slimmest age differentials pretty much in any culture. It's very, very slim compared to most cultures. In a lot of other cultures, the age differential can easily be 10, 15, 20 years. And we see that a lot with our couples, although I'd say the average age differential is about 11 or 12 years, even with us, if you were to really kind of look at the average. But there are some outliers that have 30-year age differences, 40-year age differences. I know one that I'm thinking of that's pretty close to a 40-year age difference. They've been together now for 7 or 8 years, still going strong, still doing great. I know several that have 20, 25-year age differences that are still going strong. And the men and women have a lot in common, and because that's who they are. But I've always said, if you're, say, 50, 60-year-old guy, and you want to marry someone who's 20, 25, even 30 years younger than you, then you better be willing to do all the things that you did 20, 25, 30 years ago, and not expect her to live like someone who's 20 to 30 years older than she is, because that's just not fair to her. You got to experience things that you want to do when you were younger. So, there's an old saying, you got to have the game to cover the spread. And if you've got that, then yeah, you can go and do that. But if you're going to, watch Wheel of Fortune, drink a cup of warm milk and go to bed at 8 o'clock, then no, it's probably not a good idea for you to marry someone who's much younger than you. I mean, it's about the people involved. It always is. So it's not just an age thing. It's funny, when we first started, we used to put the age of the women, I'm interested in someone up to 30, up to 50, up to 60, right? We used to put that. Then we decided that was worthless, because the women who were saying that were marrying men that were much older than that. We talked to them and said, well, I didn't know he was going to be like that when I met him. And I see that quite often, even with some of the affiliates, where a woman's like, no, I only want someone who's like 40, 45, not 50 or 55. And then they meet the 50 or 55-year-old, and it's great. And they laugh at themselves for almost not meeting that person, almost not giving themselves that opportunity. Again, it comes down to the person. That chronological age doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. Once you get past, 25, 30, people age differently. They take care of themselves differently. Their mental, the way they act, personality, totally different. And it doesn't really have so much to do about age. Just today, someone told me about, when I was talking to one of our affiliates, and they were saying how they just had a marriage with a woman who was 35 and the man was 31. Well, the woman really didn't have a lot of interest in meeting someone younger than she was. And if you know anything about the Ukrainians, usually they want the man to be 10, 15, 20 years older, because they view men their own age, or especially younger, as just not being mature enough. Nowhere near mature enough, right? And that's just their view. And I know, because I've been around it long enough. And so this woman really didn't want anything to do with him until the matchmakers pushed her to meet, convinced her that, he was more mature for his age, all that. And they finally met. That would have never happened on a regular traditional site where you have no one else pushing or helping the two to come together. And I can give you example after example after example of that. Even my own marriage with Tanya. She didn't want anything to do with me when I first met her. And some people actually said some nice things about me to her, which was wonderful, but she didn't want anything to do with me. I had to convince her how wonderful a person I am. And it took a long time, let me tell you. But if not for that social, if not for all the other people around, I probably would have never had a shot with her. So yeah, it really does matter, and it helps.
True love has no borders. Perhaps you should consider expanding your horizons. Check out our website at
ukrainesingles.com.